Stress, there's no avoiding it. It hits you from all angles. Your boss, your spouse, your kids, your friends. The bad news, stress kills. But the good news is you can conquer it and live a longer, happier life. Get ready to learn how. Welcome to Ask Dr. Manny. Stress can do a number on your body. In fact, studies have found that it can literally take years off your life. But it doesn't stop there. Stress can be damaging from head to toe. Everyday stress, from your job to your personal life, can trigger tension, headaches, and migraines. During stressful times, your body releases chemicals that provoke your blood vessels, causing these head pains. Your jaw is very sensitive to stress. People who are overly anxious tend to grind their teeth at night. This can cause jaw pain and, in serious cases, damage to teeth. Many people hold their tension in their neck, back, and shoulders. When you are tense, so are your muscles and blood vessels. This makes it difficult for blood to flow to your muscles and causes pain. Stress raises your blood pressure and also leaves your body vulnerable to unhealthy hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Studies have linked these hormones to changes in the way your blood clots, which increases your risk of a heart attack. Your digestive system is made up of hundreds of millions of nerves. When stressed, your central nervous system cuts off blood flow to your digestive muscles. This can cause indigestion, nausea, irritable bowel syndrome, and ulcers. Stress can also trigger pre-existing problems like asthma, psoriasis, and restless leg syndrome. It can cause depression and sleep-related disorders as well. But it doesn't have to be this way. Stress can be controlled. So stick around for some simple head-to-toe stress solutions. There is no doubt about it. Work can be a burden to everyone. We can lose sleep and lose our tempers over our jobs. CareerCast.com ranked the 10 most stressful jobs. Here are the top 3. Number 3 is a photojournalist. Commercial airline pilot ranked number 2, and the number 1 most stressful job is being a surgeon. I can definitely attest to that. But this isn't a contest. No matter what your profession is, I'll bet your job can get under your skin. The way you handle stress makes all the difference in how it affects our bodies. Imagine having to field calls like this all day.
Express service code is 49. You got it?
I couldn't hear you very well. You're yelling very loud. 49, is that right?
Yeah, it's close enough. All I need to know is how do you turn this thing off? You know, your automated crap sucks, all right? And I think you suck, all right?
Wow, that would be tough to deal with on a daily basis. Joining me now is Barbara Burke. She's been working in customer service call centers for over 20 years. She's written a book called The Napkin, The Melon, The Monkey, in which she turns some ancient solutions into modern day ones. Thank you so much for coming to the program. Tell me about the book. This is very fascinating, and the title really doesn't tell me what the book is about.
That's good, because you have to read it to find out. But actually, it's a story about a woman very much like the rest of us, trying to deal with the stressors of her job and trying to be happy. And she discovers that as a customer service rep, one of the most difficult parts of her job is dealing with irate customers. So one day she loses her cool and starts actually yelling back at customers who are yelling at her.
Everybody yells back. I yell back at everybody on a daily basis.
But
otherwise,
but
it doesn't help it.
Yeah,
well,
that's not so good. That's not so good.
I know.
But you said that you had the 3 top most stressful jobs, and I would say that being a customer service rep is probably the most stressful job. And it takes an enormous toll on the individual. And if you can imagine taking between 80 and 120 calls a day, never knowing if the person's going to be friendly or cooperative, or if they're going to be angry and abusive. So the story is about this woman, Olivia, and she seeks out the wise woman, Isabel. And Isabel, instead of giving her advice directly, she tells her these ancient stories that have been passed down through the generations.
And the stories
And then-
basically is one is about a napkin,
Yep.
one is about a melon, the other one is about a monkey.
That's it.
Do you think that this book is needed today more than ever before?
You know, I think so. I think it's a repackaging of ancient wisdom, and it really talks about how important it is to be mindful and to be present in the moment and not sort of let yourself spin out of control. And I think a lot of people don't understand how important having emotional control is. It impacts all areas of your life, and I think contributes to your overall happiness.
And what happens to a person when, you know, especially when you have to, with, you know, this type of work, what happens to somebody like that?
You know, there's really two reactions in customer service. Some people just get jaded and they put up a defense, and so they tend to be sort of abrupt with customers. The second reaction are those individuals that take it personally. And so they take that stress home with them, and they have a lot of work-related stress issues as a result.
The lack of sleeping and high blood pressure and all of that.
Yes.
In your book, the main character, Olivia, the name of my daughter, is told to have a soda. What does that mean?
A soda. Well, it's a four-step process that Olivia learns from her mentor. And what it stands for is stop, observe the situation for what it is, and then decide, and then act. Now, the tricky part is to be able to stop without reacting emotionally. And then once you're able to do that, you kind of step back and go, you know, this isn't personal. This individual's mad about their situation.
Right.
And then once you're able to observe the situation, i.e. being mindful, then you're able to decide on the best course of action, and then you're able to act with confidence.
It's like the Michael Corleone movie. It's not personal. It's business. Okay. You have another thing in the book. You talk about unplugging.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Unplugging is a metaphor for the headset that Olivia wore on the job. So when she was able to unplug her headset, everything went quiet. So unplugging is actually another word for meditation. And so she learns to be able to quiet her mind for just a few minutes a day. And her ability to be in the moment, to be able to quiet her mind, actually helps her apply that soda idea.
Many books that deal with stress or how to, you know, self-help books, you know, they're chapters, and so you read one chapter on how to do this, one chapter on how to do that, and a lot of people cherry pick. In your book, you have to read from the beginning to the end because you wrote it in a sort of a novel, you know, storytelling format, which makes it not easy to pick. You have to read the whole thing.
You don't have to read the whole thing.
No.
Honest.
Now, another principle you explore in the book is that of being mindful.
Mindfulness is nothing more than being able to look at situations clearly without judgment. When we get in trouble, it's when we react emotionally to something without really thinking about it. And truly, our ability to control our emotions and be able to be more mindful impacts our ability to be promoted in your company, because as a leader you need to be able to be calm and collected, and certainly in our relationships being able to control our emotions kind of helps with that area as well.
But don't you think controlling too much our emotions also is bad? Isn't it okay to kind of blow a little steam once in a while?
Well, I think that's a good point. I think anger in some areas, I think it's really a good idea to express your anger. But let's just say you're on the freeway and somebody cuts you off. A lot of people take that personally. And what we find is if you take that personally, you get unnecessarily angry because that person didn't pick you out of the entire freeway to cut you off. But if we can kind of think about, well, maybe he's going to the hospital, maybe he's having a bad day. You know, it's not personal.
You should drive in New Jersey. The character, and I think, you know, I guess this is the premise of the whole book, you get that aha moment. You know, which I guess is the achievement that you're trying to make the reader get in their personal, as they read the book, as it relates to them. What is this aha moment for the main character?
Well, the main character, Olivia, has a lot of different problems and experiences, and as the wise woman tells her stories. She has these ahas, and she doesn't want to forget them. So she writes them down, and by the end of the story, she has 22 ahas. And those become the framework for her being able to live a happier life.
Tell me a few tips that will help people deal with their daily stress, especially job-related stress.
Well, don't take it personally.
Okay?
And be able to...
Even if it's directed at you.
Well, a lot of times it isn't. A lot of times you want to take the position of the other person and try to understand where they're coming from. So really compassion is important. But also just realize that we have a lot more control over our emotions than we think we do. And we don't have to be bantied around. We can be able to stop, observe the situation for what it is, and then be able to act more skillfully. So stop, observe, decide, and act.
Well, great advice, great tips. Thank you so much. I'm going to take that into consideration next time I try to fight back, and I don't do that.
Yes.
Still ahead, clutter can actually intensify frustration in your life. We'll tell you how to de-stress your environment. Feng Shui is the almost 4,000-year-old Chinese practice designed to improve life and increase the positive energy around you. For those of you like me who aren't too familiar with it, it's all about where things are placed in your home and how the colors you use to decorate affects your stress levels. To see this ancient practice in action, we visited the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in New York City with Feng Shui guru Judith Wendell.
One of the very basic principles of Feng Shui is the balance of yin and yang. A living environment should always be somewhat more yang, so much more alive. That's a healthy environment. But there are places where it should be more yin, especially sleeping, a quiet environment. Another very important principle of Feng Shui is the command position. And that being that one can see exactly what's coming towards them and yet not be in line with it, so that they're empowered in their life. That's the metaphor. And you could see the front door is over there. I could see it perfectly, but I'm not directly in line with it. So once you come into an exquisite room like this with such a great view, the tendency is to want to travel right out to the environment. And you want to anchor your chi. Traditionally, someone might use a crystal, but it's gorgeously conveyed in this room with the pillars and the orchid to help anchor the space at the window so you have a perspective. Color is very important in Feng Shui. It represents the elements. In this room, there's a lot of earth element. The earth element is about credibility and trust, so it's very secure making. It lowers stress. It's like you're grounded, even though you're in the sky. I think all color is wonderful, and when you use it prescriptively, it could really make a difference to either lowering stress or raising your energy level, or many other things that Feng Shui is related to. Having a solid foundation behind you is another example of the commanding position. So having a solid headboard gives you solidarity in life, protection, and strength.
So maybe you aren't ready to dive right into a Feng Shui lifestyle. How about simply decluttering? It's a great way to clear the stress right out of your home. For some simple suggestions, we went on a house call with organization expert Lori Grenier.
Hi, I'm Erica, and I have an organizational nightmare.
Hi, I'm Lori Grenier, inventor and organizational expert, and I'm here to help. Erica, there's a lot of things in here, and as you said, they're all thrown together. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean this out. We're going to determine, do you really need all these bowls, or maybe you just need one bowl or two bowls? Are you getting nervous?
A little bit.
Erica, I am so proud of you for letting us get rid of so many things that you don't use. Now, you're going to be so much happier. We've put in this standing divider. We've also put in some shelves, and watch. And look how neat and clean and easy. Nothing's falling out. Everything's organized.
I feel like I can breathe.
Yes, you can breathe. Underneath the kitchen sink is always a mess. But this is quick and easy to fix because we're going to pull everything out. We're going to go through it, get rid of empty bottles, get rid of extras, and we're going to put one organizer into here that's going to transform your cabinet's life. Really.
bought some. I didn't know I had any.
We put in one handy organizer. This organizer is great because it just rolls out so you can bring everything forward, see what you have, and then just push it right back. So we're going to start loading this baby up.
So much better than my bucket. I cannot believe all that stuff fit in there.
Ta-da! Okay, Erica, here we are. We're in the food pantry now. And because this is your food, I'm going to let you go through this and determine what you eat, what you're keeping, and an important thing is to look for expired foods. Do you remember when you bought this?
No.
Maybe it's expired. So you did a great job.
I know. I can't believe I had all this food that was expired.
Yep, all expired except we'll get rid of that and then we just have this to put in. And the really important thing is to categorize. So we have all the same foods and food groups together. Everything is organized, and when you go to pick a canned good or a cracker or a pasta or your sauce, it's all right in here and you can see it all at a quick glance. So do you feel stressless now?
Oh my gosh, I feel so much better. When I said before, I can breathe. I feel like I can breathe in my cabinets because there's so much space in there and everything isn't jam-packed.
Just a few minutes of being stressed while cleaning them out, but now for the next year, you're going to be stress-free and you're going to feel better, you're going to have more space, and you're going to save time when you go to look for things.
I know, I want to clean because I can find my cleaning products.
Oh, I know. Now let's hit the closet.
For more ways to organize, go to LoriGrenier.com. Up next,
I should have flown with someone else or gone by car.
he was flying to his latest gig when his $3,500 guitar got smashed. Find out how this musician turned a stressful situation into a song-worthy one. Some say Americans are overcome by the burden of their worries, and some of us do not handle it as well as we should. We're going to meet a musician who turned a stressful situation into a YouTube sensation.
United, united.
Musician Dave Carroll doesn't usually play in or about airports, but after a busted guitar and a long ordeal with United Airlines customer service, the folk singer created a series of humorous songs and videos documenting the saga, and that's when things really started taking off.
I flew United Airlines on my way to Nebraska.
The plane departed Halifax, connecting in Chicago's O'Hare.
We were sitting at the back, and there was a woman who didn't know that we were musicians, and she looked outside and she said, "Oh my God, they're throwing guitars outside." And so we knew that we were probably the victims of whatever was going on out there.
They were, in fact, and Dave's $3,500 guitar was broken from what he says was mishandling.
You broke my Taylor guitar.
It's not the price, it's the sentiment behind it. And that guitar was 10 years old, and I'd had it for all of my favorite songs that I had written in that period were on that guitar, and it was on all of our recordings. So the guitar meant a lot to me.
After pursuing his case for 9 months by phone and email, United Airlines closed Dave's claim without compensation. That's when the United Breaks Guitars trilogy was born, and Dave presented his plan to the airline.
I said, I urge you to reconsider, because if you don't, I'm going to do 3 songs, 3 videos. I'm going to get my friends together and make something, put it on YouTube, and without even thinking why, I just said 3 songs and 1 million hits is what I was going for.
On July 6, 2008, the first video went live. Within 4 days, Dave had his 1 million hits. By the end of the week, it was up to 2 million and counting. Dave's popularity skyrocketed, and United Airlines noticed, offering him $1,200 in fly vouchers and $1,200 to fix his guitar.
So when they called to say it was regretful this happened and they'd like to compensate me, I said that was closed by you in November. I'm committed now to doing 3 videos, so the first one's out. The second song is written, but you can have some input on the third song if you're willing to make some policy changes that are worth singing about.
Dave went on to write a second and third version. Each continues the story using a different musical genre.
If you just come to your senses, accept the consequences of you letting certain baggage handlers smash my property.
Aside from playing live, Dave also speaks in front of groups about his ordeal. He has gotten over 10,000 emails from all over the world, including requests to write songs about other people's problems. He hasn't taken anyone up on that offer yet.
I love writing songs, and songwriters capture experiences with music and melody and lyrics. If nobody had watched this video, I still would have enjoyed the process of writing. I had a great time bringing my friends in to do the recordings and make the videos, so it was a good experience. I should have flown with someone else or gone by car, 'cause United breaks guitars. Yeah, United breaks guitars. Yeah, United breaks guitars.
Dave just came out with a third version of United Breaks Guitars. Check it out on his website, davecarrollmusic.com. Okay, let's be realistic. Not everyone can make a song about a stressful event. We have given you some simple solutions to deal with your frustrations. If all else fails, think about this the next time you're feeling at the end of your rope. Take a deep breath. Take a few seconds and think about what you're going to do before you do it. You have the power to slow down, clear your head, and make a better decision. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Manny, and I'll see you next week.